He said 90% of Washington wants this war to go on for a long time.
All fairy tales they want to hear, just to survive. That's what I think about all that shitty intelligence groups.
Доброго вечора, ми з України.
Good evening, this is Joe Lindsley talking to you from Skola in the Carpathian Mountains of Western Ukraine, and my friend Zakhar Pikh speaking from
Kyiv.
I asked a friend in Washington, like, what are people thinking in Washington about the situation in Ukraine? And I said, what percentage of influential people in Washington want A, Ukraine to win soon, or B, want this war to go on for a very long time? And my friend, who he was once stationed in Kyiv, and hasn't been here in several years, but has worked for the government for a long time. He said 90% of Washington wants this war to go on for a long time. They don't want Russia to win, but they are okay with the long war. They are okay with people dying in order to further the Russia is bad narrative and to keep the defense companies happy. It's 90% of people in Washington. Maybe it's exaggeration by a little bit. And then I said, who are the other 10%? And he said, these are the realists who think that the war needs to end. But the only way it can end is if Ukraine agrees to negotiate. And then, so Ukraine negotiates and gives up territory. And then only when Putin dies can Ukraine work to get back its territory. Then he said to me, there is no chance that Ukraine can win while Putin is still in power.
That's not true, because the same people said in the beginning of the war, and also the same people, for example, American embassy, Canadian embassy, and the NATO embassy, they took their flags out from Kyiv just a week before the war, and just that motherfuckers, that scared dogs, just ran away from Ukraine 1 week before the war. They hid their fucking flags, the fucking flag of the fucking United States. Yeah. And that people said that, oh my God, the Russia is the second army in the world. It's the biggest country in the world. And also it's very, very fucking strong. Putin motherfucker, they will be in Kyiv for 3 days. And what we have now, we have 140 days. If I'm right, yeah, 148, 150 days, yeah, and where is Russia now? And all of that American high level, rich, blah blah blah, good connected motherfuckers, they are sitting in they put their fucking tongues in their stupid asses. And they can say nothing because they were wrong. And they still say shit and trying to be experts in something. But for them, it's very hard, because I'm so sorry, of course, but I think the shitty American intelligence, that means shitty CIA, it's not so better than the fucking Russian FSB, it's the same very shitty intelligence. They know nothing about what is going on. They know nothing about the granny who will poison the fucking bread and give it to the soldiers, and the granny in somewhere in the Sumy region will kill 30 soldiers in 5 minutes, So how that fucking amazing experts can say something about, oh, the Ukraine can bring their territories back only if Putin will die. The Putin is the fucking symbol. It's not the human. And that people have their fucking salaries and other, abilities from their country only because they have to talk shit. They have to do something, and they have to show to their government that they are doing something just to take their salaries. And all of them knows that, oh my god, I'm a human, I'm working in intelligence, for example, in the CA, somewhere in the Washington, I'm close to the White House, to the very old president, and the people around have to think that I'm very clever and I know everything, but I'm a stupid idiot and I'm just trying to survive. And I will tell to the world all fairy tales they want to hear, just to survive.
This reminds me of
That what I think about all that shitty intelligence groups of the greatest countries in the world. Thank you so much.
Well, I want to tell you a quick story, but before that, when we were talking about the motivations of the Americans and Europeans and the companies that make lots of money from weapons.
I want to tell that if Americans or Europeans now complain that everything in their lives becoming bad, for example, prices for gas or food or something else, that only because they made nothing with Russia, with relations with Russia in 2014. Only because of that. Only because that stupid liberals people did nothing and said, okay, Putin is a very strong guy and he wanted to take Crimea and Donbass. Okay, please, it's just a Ukraine. It's just a little country somewhere in the East Europe, whatever. And now, the little country in East Europe, like somewhere in nowhere for Americans, for example, that country killing, we are killing Putin's assassins who came here to kill us, and we are showing to the world who are they. We're showing them Bucha, Irpin, Hostomel. We're showing them Kherson region. We're showing them Mariupol and our Azov, who called like the whole world after Russian propaganda called Azov Nazi group. Yeah, we show them that we are heroes and that people are heroes, and the Putin is a fucking terrorist, and only because of that, only because Putin manipulated of them, now they're complaining about everything in their lives. And I think after the war, when the war will finish in Ukraine, everything will be good because we know how to live in the shit. Yeah, we know that. And for us, if it will be still shit, like whatever, we will live. We'll live here and we'll be happy because we will not have fucking Russians. But for Europeans and for Americans, they will have a lot of shit, and they will have a lot of problems about that, about gas,
you mean
about
exactly, yeah, because
oil, about food, about everything.
You mean if oil or gas were cut off to Ukraine? I mean, I've seen it. Like Ukrainians know how to survive. You can grill stuff. You know how to make a fire. You keep it going. Yeah.
Exactly.
And the West has forgotten these things. And then, well, in future talks, there's a lot more to talk about on that. But I want to mention last thing is when I was traveling from somewhere in the south of Ukraine toward Kiev, like I guess last month, uh, with a few people. One of them is an American who, good guy. We became great friends, but who, you know, is connected to the defense establishment. And very strangely, on this road trip, out of nowhere, he got very angry at me. He said, "Why do you keep talking about Maidan? This is not about the revolution of 2014. This is not about Maidan. This is about geopolitics. That's it. So shut up." And when I thought about like what my friend in Washington said, that 90% of people in high level people in DC want this to go on for a long time because it benefits them. And 10% of people want Ukraine to negotiate, but 0% actually believe in Ukrainian victory. It's not zero. I know people. I know a few good people in Washington who really do want Ukrainian victory, but they're very few. And then when I had this strange conversation on the road trip to Kiev, I realized that like this person who's worked with American defense establishment, we got to know each other traveling the country. He didn't want to hear me talk about Maidan, the Revolution of Dignity, anymore because I think probably it made him feel guilty. Because I really believe it, just like Ukrainians really believe it, just like it really did. You changed your lives in 2014. Zach, you were part of it. You were in the streets, leading people. It was
Yeah, and
it was a
that
movement.
mean if you want to live better, you will do everything to do that. And if you just a fucking eater, like a lot of West people, you're living with the money of your parents, of parents of their parents, and parents of their parents, and everything is good in your country for a lot of years. But like every year you're becoming more depends from Russia, for example. Like it happens with Europe now with the gas, because now Europe, they're in the dead end. They don't know what to do without Russian gas and the prices for Russian gas, because Russia is manipulating with that, and they in the shit.
Yeah.
They don't know what to do. And I think like every country in Europe, like Germany, Italy, France, they want Ukraine defeat in this war. They want Russia occupy the whole Ukraine and the war will finish, and they will start like bless Putin to make like everything like before. They wanted that, but it will not happen. And they are very scary about that. They are very scary that Ukraine will destroy Russia, and the Europe will stay without Russian money, without Russian energy. Yeah. And the Europe will be in the shit.
And I think also, Zach, they're afraid that they also are afraid of 2014 of Maidan. They're afraid that if Ukraine, because if Ukraine wins this, they have the strongest military in the world, really, and Europe is afraid that, because look at what happens in Holland with the farmers protesting, whenever they have or the yellow jackets in France, they're terrified of people protesting and speaking their minds. And Ukraine is the best country. Ukraine is the country that is the people in charge are the people, who spoke their minds. And I think Europe is terrified of having that in Europe. So if Ukraine wins, then this model of true democracy could spread. And I think that scares them shitless. So, but if Russia wins, then Russia's not going to stop here. They're going to go for more countries.
Russia will not
Anyway.
win here.
I know I believe it too, man. But
No,
Well-
you don't have to believe in that. It's a fact.
okay, I'll take it as
Russia
a
is
fact.
weak. Russia is weak and sick, and that's why we will win.
The mysterious Russian soul. Weak.
Yeah,
and sick.
yeah, exactly. They came here and they don't know they don't know what to do, really, and they're scary. They're scary of us because all of us, we are ready to die here, and that is making us very, very strong.
I saw a video on Russian TV of a parents of a Russian soldier who was killed here, but the Russian government gave them a new white car, and the Russian TV was showing off.
No. It was about the Russian soldiers died, and the government gave to his parents money, like, oh, your son, he was a fucking Russian hero, and please, money for his stupid body. And they bought a shitty Russian car. Very, it was very expensive Russian car, and they made a great propaganda video about that shit. It's sick, man. They are
It's
fucking sick.
Dude, could you imagine any Ukrainian who lost a loved one in the war, then being on TV talking about some car that they bought because of that loved one dying? No, I know. It's sick.
Man, in Bucha and Gostomel, the Russian soldiers came inside the apartments of Ukrainians, and they were stealing women underwear, used underwear, used pants, and sent it to their wives. And oh my God, you see, please, now you have a Victoria's Secret's underwear, and whatever that it was wearing by 1 or 2 years, but by some Ukrainian girl. And please wear it and be happy that you have Victoria's Secret's underwear. And we are talking now about the second army in the world, the strong army, what can defeat America? Really? What? We're talking about sick people.
Yeah.
And only because they are sick and weak, we as a Cossacks, we as a lions, will destroy them. We will kill all of them here in our territory, and we will kill them as much as we need to kill them.
But we'll close with this. I think we have to face the reality, because they're sick and weak, but because they're sick, the government of Russia doesn't care how many people they send here to die, and so that's a very dangerous thing, and that's why this is so difficult. And they have nuclear weapons at their disposal. They have a lot of resources, and they have very bad friends. They have, China, Iran, and that's why this is not simple, and that's why it's dangerous for the whole world. Any last words, or you good?
No, I don't want. I finished. I said a lot.
Yeah, no, man, it was a good conversation. I appreciate it, man. And do побачення. Thank you for listening. UkrainianFreedomNews.com. This has been Speak Freely, or Zach.
Or it was again. It was Speak Shitty podcast for you. Have a good night.
Our near daily war journal. Thanks for listening.